When we returned to our vehicle, a mob was gathering. I'd been in civilian-led riots in Kosovo and was aware of how quickly they could escalate. These non-combatants appeared agitated, yet their anger wasn't directed at us. The mob was centered around a young woman who was waving her bloodied hijab in the air. The mob started to chant, "Saddam Jundi! Saddam Jundi!" We'd learned basic Arabic and knew that they were trying to tell us about Iraqi soldiers, but we had to regroup with our platoon for new orders. The distressed woman then raised her arm in a chopping motion to her own arm and yelled, "Baby!" The mob had just informed us that the Iraqi soldiers had chopped her baby's arm off to keep them quiet. I had just received my new orders, and it was to kill these bastards that had mutilated this baby. I immediately commanded my men to close in and issued some quick battle orders. I was aware that this could be a trap, but that was doubtful, as the civilian population of Basra hated Saddam Hussein. Regardless, we had to be careful and expect an ambush. My mind, yet again, raced back to Kosovo, the morgue, and all those dead civilians. I had just been gifted an opportunity to do some good, and to prevent any more harm to future non-combatants at the hands of these cruel soldiers. I thought about the infamous phrase, "Evil triumphs when good men do nothing." I desperately wanted to repent and be a good man, and this was my opportunity. As you can imagine, my vehicle crew were not too pleased, as this action would leave them vulnerable, and this was not part of our mission. Plans often changed in combat, and my mind was set. It was time to move out, but quietly, in stealth, without the support of my armoured fighting vehicle. The mob had pointed us in the direction of the compound of a large upper-class building, and we halted the crowd as we began our stealthy assault. We didn't know what we were up against, and had to carry out some reconnaissance before we could strike. Stevie took my Delta fire team around the back of the structure as an initial cut-off, and my fire team observed from the front. I identified 2 sets of military-grade boots at the front door and gave the commands to conduct a simultaneous breach. I ordered my men to use lethal force if necessary, but, if possible, they should be taken alive. I began a 5-second countdown on the radio, and my heart began to race. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go! We breached both the front and back simultaneously. I booted the front door off its hinges and led my team in. I was in an open area, and we swept immediately to the left to a kitchen where an Iraqi Jundi was washing the blood off his arms and clothes. There was a large bloodied machete next to him, but before he could reach for it, I headbutted him, and he fell to the floor. Concurrently, my Delta fire team had also breached, also sweeping to their left, and had captured another Iraqi Jundi. Both these Iraqi soldiers resisted capture, and lethal force could have been used, but I wanted them to pay for their crimes. I wanted them alive. We restrained our prisoners, and I told the lads to search the building for evidence. This place was a gold mine, and we bagged their uniforms, weapons, papers, and a computer. These were 2 high-ranking Iraqi officers, and we found vast amounts of intelligence and treasures, including captured loot from the 1990 Iraqi invasion of Kuwait. This intelligence coup would prove vital in the coming weeks, and these Jundi would be later interrogated by special forces.